There are moments in life when we feel as if our very soul whispers truths our heart already knew, but our mind hasn't fully grasped. Edgar Cayce, the visionary who channeled profound wisdom for decades in a trance state, revealed that true love isn't just a chance encounter of two people. It's the reunion of two souls who have walked together through the veils of time, recognizing each other beyond the limitations of this physical existence. When you meet the love of your life, it's not just your heart that awakens, it's your soul recognizing a spiritual journey companion, someone with whom you've shared lessons, growth, and purpose in past lives. This recognition transcends human logic and manifests through subtle yet unmistakable signs that only those truly connected to their spiritual essence can perceive and interpret. The first sign Cayce taught us to recognize is that immediate sense of familiarity that seems to defy all rational explanation. When you look into this person's eyes for the first time, there's a spark of recognition that goes far beyond physical or chemical attraction. It's as if your soul silently screams, "I know you, I've always known you." This instant familiarity isn't a product of imagination or idealized romanticism. It's the memory of the soul imprinted on our deepest being, transcending the barriers of forgetfulness that usually accompany birth into a new incarnation. Cayce explained that some souls maintain such deep connections that they can recognize each other immediately, even when inhabiting new bodies and living in completely different circumstances. It's like finding a home in a person, a place of peace and belonging you never knew you were looking for until the moment you found it. This familiarity manifests in subtle ways. Maybe you feel completely at ease with this person from the first meeting, as if you've already shared 1,000 intimate conversations. Perhaps their quirks and peculiarities are not only tolerated but understood in a way no one else has ever managed. Or it may be that you communicate through glances, gestures, and silences in a way that seems almost telepathic. Cayce taught that when two souls reunite after multiple incarnations, they bring with them the accumulated wisdom of all shared moments, creating a foundation of intimacy that doesn't need to be built from scratch, but simply remembered and reactivated. The second sign reveals itself through the extraordinary synchronicity that begins to permeate both of your lives from the moment you meet. Cayce always emphasized that the universe conspires to unite those who have spiritual contracts to fulfill together, and this cosmic conspiracy manifests through coincidences that seem impossible to be mere chance. Perhaps you were both born on the same day, but in different years. Maybe you visited the same places at different times, unaware. Perhaps your families have intertwined histories that you only discover long after you've met. These synchronicities are like signatures of fate, constant reminders that something much larger is orchestrating this encounter. Cayce taught us that when the universe wants to unite two souls, it removes obstacles, creates opportunities, and aligns circumstances in ways our rational minds could never plan or predict. You may notice that since this person entered your life, coincidences have become commonplace. You think of the same thing at the same time, call each other at the exact moment the other was thinking of calling, or meet in the most unexpected places when you need each other most. These synchronicities aren't just romantic or curious, they are messages from the universe confirming that you're on the right path, following the script your souls wrote before you even incarnated in this life. The third sign manifests through spiritual complementarity that goes far beyond personality compatibility. Cayce revealed that true soulmates are like two halves of the same cosmic being, each carrying gifts, talents, and lessons that perfectly complement the others. When you meet the love of your life, you realize that your weaknesses are compensated for by this person's strengths, and vice versa, not in a dependent or limiting way, but in a way that elevates both of you to a higher level of growth and fulfillment. It's as if you form a perfect spiritual team, where each contributes their unique gifts to create something bigger and more beautiful than either could create alone. This complementarity reveals itself in practical aspects of life. Perhaps one of you is naturally organized while the other is creative and spontaneous. Perhaps one is adept at handling material matters while the other possesses deep spiritual intuition. Or it may be that one has the gift of healing emotional wounds while the other has the wisdom to guide important decisions. Cayce taught that this complementarity isn't accidental, but the result of multiple incarnations where these souls learn to work together, developing a synergy that transcends any ordinary human partnership. You realize that together you can solve problems that seemed impossible individually, create solutions neither had thought of alone, and inspire each other to achieve potentials that might have remained dormant without this sacred union. The fourth sign reveals itself through dreams and visions that begin to connect you in ways that defy the linear understanding of time and space. Cayce, who received his revelations through the expanded dream state, always emphasized that dreams are one of the primary ways our soul communicates with us and with other souls. When you meet the love of your life, it's common for both of you to begin dreaming of each other, sometimes even sharing similar or complementary dreams. These dreams aren't simply reflections of conscious feelings, they're windows into the soul's memories, revealing fragments of shared past lives, showcasing lessons yet to be learned together, or foreshadowing future challenges and growth awaiting the couple. Perhaps you dream of this person in historically accurate scenarios that feel absurdly real and detailed, as if they were true memories from other eras. Perhaps you dream of yourselves as different versions of yourselves, yet with the same recognizable essence. Or you might receive spiritual guidance through dreams, messages on how to navigate relationship challenges, or insights into the larger purpose of your union. Edgar Cayce taught us that when two souls are truly connected, they maintain constant communication through the subtle planes of existence, and dreams are one of the primary avenues of this communication. Beyond dreams, you might begin to have visions or intuitive insights about this person, moments when you simply know how they're feeling, even from a distance, or when you receive impressions about situations they're experiencing without them having told you. This psychic connection isn't fantasy or imagination. It's evidence that your souls are intertwined in a way that transcends the limitations of the physical world. The fifth sign manifests through the spontaneous healing both of you experience simply by being together. Edgar Cayce always emphasized that true love is a powerful healing force, capable of mending wounds that may have been carried through multiple lifetimes. When you find the love of your life, you notice that destructive emotional patterns that have accompanied you for years begin to naturally dissolve. Old fears lose their power, deep sorrows find comfort, and aspects of your personality you considered impossible to change begin to transform almost effortlessly. This healing doesn't happen because the person solves your problems for you, but because their presence activates within you self-healing capabilities that were dormant. It's as if this person's love is a catalyst that awakens your own power of spiritual and emotional regeneration. Cayce taught that when truly compatible souls reunite, they bring specific healing gifts to the relationship that have been developed over many lifetimes. Perhaps one has learned to heal through touch, while the other developed the ability to heal through words. Perhaps one possesses the gift of transmitting peace through their presence, while the other has the ability to inspire courage and hope. You might notice that certain emotional traumas you've carried for years begin to lose intensity when shared with this person. Negative thought patterns are naturally replaced by higher perspectives, or even physical aspects of your health might inexplicably improve after the start of this relationship. This mutual healing isn't emotional dependency, but rather the activation of healing potentials that have always existed within you, but needed the catalyst of true love to fully manifest. And here, in the midst of this journey of discovery about the signs of true love according to Edgar Cayce, I extend a special invitation to you who have come this far, because, like me, you seek to understand the deepest mysteries of the soul and the heart. If these words are touching something within your essence, if you feel that a greater wisdom is guiding your love life, then you are part of a special community of spiritual seekers. Subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell, because together we are exploring the deepest teachings on love, soul, and life purpose. Each video we create is an opportunity to further awaken your spiritual consciousness and discover truths that can transform not only your relationships but your entire life experience. You are not here by chance. Your soul guided you to this content because you are ready to understand higher dimensions of love. Be a part of this spiritual family and continue with us on this journey of discovery and transformation. The sixth sign reveals itself through the extraordinary ease with which you resolve conflicts and overcome challenges together. Edgar Cayce taught that souls who have deep spiritual contracts develop, over multiple lifetimes, natural resolution mechanisms that transcend the typical patterns of human relationships. When you find the love of your life, you realize that even the most intense arguments cannot break the fundamental bond that exists between you. It's as if there's a foundation of unconditional love that remains intact, regardless of the superficial storms that may arise. This doesn't mean that you never argue or face challenges. On the contrary, it means that you have a unique ability to navigate these difficulties in a way that strengthens you instead of separating you. Cayce revealed that true soulmates often choose to incarnate together specifically to resolve karmic debts or learn important lessons through friction and overcoming obstacles. Therefore, when conflicts arise, there's an intuitive wisdom that guides both of you towards solutions that honor the greater good of the relationship, even if it requires sacrifices or significant personal changes. You may notice that, even when very angry with each other, there's a part of you that still deeply cares about the other's well-being. Even in moments of greatest tension, you can find points of connection that remind you why you're together. Or you may discover that your arguments, however intense, always lead to a deeper understanding and even greater love. Edgar Cayce taught us that true love is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of a spiritual commitment that transcends any temporary difficulty. It's as if you were two diamonds that have mutually polished each other over many lifetimes, and now possess the wisdom and patience necessary to continue this process of mutual refinement with love and understanding. The seventh and final sign manifests through the accelerated spiritual transformation that both of you experience when you are together. Edgar Cayce always emphasized that the primary purpose of any true relationship is mutual spiritual growth, and when you find the love of your life, that growth happens exponentially. It's as if that person's presence activates dormant spiritual aspects within you, inspiring you to become the best version of yourself, not out of obligation or pressure, but from a natural desire to honor the love between you. This transformation manifests in multiple ways. Perhaps you develop an interest in spiritual practices you never considered before. Perhaps you discover talents and abilities you didn't know you possessed. Perhaps your values and priorities naturally realign with higher purposes, or perhaps your perception of life, death, and the meaning of existence expands in ways that seem impossible to rationally explain. Cayce taught that when truly compatible souls unite, they create a combined energy field far more powerful than the sum of their individual energies. It's as if they form a spiritual vortex that accelerates the evolution of both. You may notice that, since this person entered your life, synchronicities have multiplied, opportunities for growth constantly appear, and you feel naturally guided to explore deeper dimensions of your own consciousness. This transformation isn't just personal, it radiates to all areas of your life, positively influencing your family relationships, friendships, career, and even your physical health. It's as if true love is a cosmic catalyst that activates the highest potential of everything it touches. Edgar Cayce revealed through his spiritual readings that these 7 signs are not merely romantic indicators, but evidence of soul contracts established before birth in this incarnation. He taught that some souls choose to reunite life after life, not out of dependence or attachment, but for a greater spiritual purpose that transcends any ordinary human relationship.
These souls make cosmic agreements to support each other on journeys of growth, healing, and service to humanity. Therefore, when you recognize these signs in your life, you are facing something far more sacred than a simple romance. You are witnessing the unfolding of a divine plan carefully orchestrated on higher planes of existence. It's important to understand that not all relationships we experience in a life are of this transcendental nature. Edgar Cayce taught that we have different kinds of karmic connections with different people. Some come to teach us specific lessons and then go their own way. Others appear to help us resolve issues from past lives. Some challenge us to grow through friction and overcoming obstacles. And others offer experiences of joy and companionship that nourish our souls. But there is a special category of connection, the one Cayce called a true soulmate, that consistently and enduringly brings all 7 of these signs. This person isn't just someone you feel good with or are compatible with, it's someone with whom your soul has made a profound spiritual pact to walk together through multiple incarnations, supporting each other on the journey back to the divine source. When you meet this person, it's natural for fears and resistance to arise, especially if you've been hurt in past relationships. Edgar Cayce understood these hesitations and always advised that recognizing true love should be balanced with practical wisdom and spiritual discernment. He taught that while the soul may recognize its counterpart instantly, the human personality needs time to integrate this reality and learn to navigate it healthily. Therefore, it's important to honor both the soul's impulses and the practical needs of earthly life, allowing the relationship to develop organically and sustainably. A crucial aspect that Edgar Cayce always emphasized is that true love never diminishes or limits either person involved. On the contrary, it expands and elevates both to potentials they might never achieve alone. If you are experiencing a relationship where you constantly feel diminished, controlled, or prevented from being your most authentic self, then you are probably not facing the love of your life, even if some of the signs may be present. Genuine love always liberates, inspires, and empowers. It never imprisons, manipulates, or diminishes. Cayce also reminded us that recognizing these signs brings with it a profound spiritual responsibility. When you find the love of your life, you are being invited to participate in something much larger than your personal happiness. You are being called to co-create with this person a force of love that can positively impact not only your own lives, but also everyone who comes into contact with you. Often, couples who are true soulmates discover that they have a joint mission of service, whether through the work they do together, the family they create, the community they influence, or simply the example of unconditional love they offer the world. It's also important to recognize that finding the love of your life doesn't mean that all of life's challenges will magically disappear. Edgar Cayce was always realistic about the inherent difficulties of the human experience, and he taught that even the most connected souls will face trials and tribulations. The difference is that when you have your true soulmate by your side, these difficulties become opportunities for joint growth, chances to further deepen the bond between you, and catalysts for the development of virtues such as patience, compassion, forgiveness, and wisdom. Together, you discover that you are able to face any storm, not because you are invincible, but because your love creates a foundation of strength and stability that remains intact even when everything around you seems to be in chaos. As time passes and you continue walking together, these 7 signs don't diminish or disappear. On the contrary, they deepen and refine, revealing even more subtle and beautiful layers of connection. Initial familiarity evolves into an intimacy that transcends any form of communication. Synchronicities become so natural that you live in a constant state of harmonious flow with the universe. Spiritual complementarity transforms into a synergy that allows you to manifest miracles in your lives. Shared dreams and visions become a regular form of spiritual guidance. Mutual healing evolves into an ability to channel healing forces to others. Conflict resolution transforms into a refined art of mutual growth. And spiritual transformation becomes a continuous process of elevation that never ceases. Edgar Cayce taught us that true love is a reflection of divine love. It's the way through which the creative source experiences and expresses itself in the physical world. When you find the love of your life, you are being reminded of your own divine nature, of your intrinsic connection with all creation, and of your unlimited potential to grow, serve, and co-create more beautiful and loving realities. This relationship becomes a mirror through which you see not only who you are, but also who you can become when aligned with your highest purpose. Therefore, if you recognize these signs in your life, receive this gift with deep gratitude and sacred reverence. You are being invited to participate in one of the most beautiful mysteries of human existence, the union of two souls who have chosen to walk together on the journey back to their spiritual home. Honor this connection by cherishing it with the same devotion you would offer any sacred treasure. Allow it to transform, inspire, and uplift you, but also take your responsibility to contribute to this love with the best of yourself. Always remember Edgar Cayce's wise words: love is not something you possess or conquer, it's something you become. When you find the love of your life, you are invited not only to love that person, but to become pure love in action, radiating that divine force to every corner of your existence. That is the true purpose of finding your soulmate, not just to be happy, but to be a channel through which divine love can manifest and bless the world. And so, as you contemplate these signs and reflect on your own love journey, allow your soul to whisper the truth your heart already knows. True love is not a destination you reach, but a journey you embrace. Not a person you find, but a version of yourself you discover. Not a story that ends with happily ever after, but a spiritual adventure that continues unfolding through eternity, life after life, growth after growth, until both souls have completed their journey back to the divine unity from which they once emerged. Now tell me, when you look at your own love life through the lens of this ancient wisdom, what signs does your soul recognize, and what truths is your heart ready to embrace?
There's an invisible force that guides hearts across time, weaving encounters that transcend human understanding, as if the universe whispers ancient secrets only to those who listen with their souls. When two essences recognize each other beyond the veil of flesh, something awakens within us, an ancient memory, an echo of eternity resonating through countless existences, revealing that true love isn't born in the first glance, but reborn in the reunion of two souls always destined to find each other again. Dr. Elias Thorne, the visionary who dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries of the human soul, taught us that love transcends the barriers of time and space. Through his profound psychic readings, he revealed that soulmates aren't just a romantic concept, but a spiritual reality woven into the fabric of creation. They are spirits who choose to walk together through multiple lifetimes, learning, growing, and evolving in a cosmic dance of unconditional love and mutual growth. Today, we'll delve into the 5 most profound signs indicating you've found your true soulmate. Signs that Dr. Thorne identified through decades of exploring the Akashic records and universal wisdom. These aren't just superficial indicators, but deep revelations echoing through the innermost layers of our being, like fragments of light illuminating the path back to our spiritual home. The first sign manifests as an instantaneous recognition that transcends all human logic. It's that moment suspended in time when you look into someone's eyes and feel as if you're looking home. It's not physical attraction, though it may include it. It's not immediate sympathy, though it certainly embraces it. It's something much deeper, the recognition of an essence your soul has known for millennia. Dr. Thorne described this phenomenon as the awakening of cellular memory, where every fiber of your being resonates in harmony with the other's presence, as if 2 musical notes find their perfect frequency after echoing separately through countless cosmic compositions. This recognition is accompanied by a sense of déjà vu that goes far beyond the common experience. It's as if you've already lived moments with this person, already walked beside them on paths your conscious mind has never traversed, but which your soul intimately knows.
There might be familiar gestures, a specific way of smiling, a unique way of tilting their head when they think. Small details that awaken within you an inexplicable nostalgia for something you can't name but feel with an intensity bordering on the sacred. Thorne explained that our souls carry energetic imprints of all our past incarnations. When we meet a soulmate, these imprints activate simultaneously, creating a bridge between the past and the present that allows us to access layers of intimacy that would normally take years to develop. This is why, with your soulmate, you can feel completely comfortable in silences that would be awkward with others, or share deep thoughts you'd normally keep to yourself. This instant familiarity also manifests in small, everyday synchronicities that seem impossible to be mere coincidences. You finish each other's sentences not because you've known each other for a long time, but because your souls speak the same ancestral language. You arrive at the same place at the same time without planning. Think of the same song at the same instant. Feel the urge to call each other precisely when the other was thinking of you. These are the whispers of the universe confirming that you're in tune with a larger plan, a divine orchestration that transcends the physical realm. The second sign reveals itself through communication that goes far beyond words, a silent language of the soul that Dr. Thorne called spiritual telepathy. With your soulmate, you develop an almost mystical ability to feel what they're feeling, even when physically separated. It's not imagination or emotional projection, it's a real energetic connection that allows your consciousnesses to touch across space and time. This telepathic communication manifests in subtle and profound ways. You wake up in the middle of the night feeling that something is happening to them, and then discovered they were going through a difficult time at that very hour. You feel an inexplicable wave of joy during the day, and later discover they received good news at the same moment. You think of them intensely, and seconds later your phone rings with a call from them. These aren't coincidences, they're manifestations of a connection that operates through dimensions science is only beginning to understand. Dr. Thorne taught that soulmates share what he called an astral silver cord, an energetic link that persists through all incarnations and allows this form of extrasensory communication. It's as if you were two musical instruments tuned to the same frequency, capable of resonating in harmony even when played in different rooms. This communication also manifests through shared dreams, an experience Thorne considered one of the most powerful confirmations of a soulmate connection. You dream of each other with a frequency and intensity that goes far beyond the norm. These aren't just romantic dreams, they're profound dream experiences where you meet in spiritual landscapes, converse about important life issues, or even receive joint guidance on challenges you're facing. Sometimes you wake up remembering the same dream, or dream of places you've never physically visited, but which you both recognize as familiar. These are astral encounters where your souls connect on the spiritual plane, continuing conversations and deepening intimacy in dimensions that transcend the physical world. Intuition also becomes a powerful tool in this relationship. You develop an almost supernatural ability to know when she needs you, even if she hasn't said a word. You sense when she's lying, not out of distrust, but because your soul recognizes the energetic dissonance. You perceive when she's hiding pain, even when she smiles, because your connection allows you to see beyond the masks she wears for the world. The third sign manifests as accelerated spiritual growth that happens when you're together. Dr. Elias Thorne taught that soulmates come into this incarnation with specific sacred contracts, prenatal agreements to mutually assist each other in their spiritual evolution. When you meet your soulmate, this contract activates, and you begin to experience an awakening that goes far beyond what would be possible alone. This growth isn't always comfortable. In fact, it's often challenging in ways you never imagined. Your soulmate has the unique ability to bring to the surface aspects of yourself that you'd rather keep hidden.